Yes, I am part of the coalition. And in all honesty, the opposition does not even have a choice because the individual political parties are not viable. So it's not even as if they have a choice. If the coalition cannot succeed, let all of them unanimously go and endorse Tinubu. No, you don't waste the time of Nigerians. I'm not the kind of person that will come and not tell you the truth. I know what people suffered in 2023. They stayed in the rain. They stayed in the sun to vote for us. I will not subject Nigerians to such suffering if I am not sure that the opposition parties are serious. You want to deal with an incumbent and you want to gallivant that you want to say you don't want to be united. And they want me to tell Nigerians to come and waste their time to fly home. Some people flew home from abroad. I know one young man that had a daughter. He had a problem with the wife, and the daughter was autistic. Yet, he had to fly both of them home to vote for us. Then you're telling me you want to go alone, and you want me to come and... The opposition parties do not even have a choice. The only choice they have is to come together, consolidate their fortunes, and take out Tinubu. Nigerians will be willing to vote if they are sure that the oppositions are not in disarray, and if they are sure that their votes will count. If they are sure that when they vote, the politicians will be able to defend their votes, or at least galvanize them to defend their votes themselves. If they see that there is any politician who is not serious, who goes alone, they might ignore the politician. Because according to the law of thermodynamics, if you want to transfer energy from one matter to the other, some energy will unavoidably be lost. So even though we are in the coalition, eventually, I cannot guarantee you that everybody will end up being in the coalition. But if some people are leaving because of their personal selfishness, because of their personal considerations, Nigerians will be willing to ignore that person. But if it is because the opposition cannot on their own come together, then Nigerians will say, these people are not serious. If you cannot act in unity, how then will you even act in unity if we give you our votes? So the opposition do not even have a choice. They must have to coalesce. So I'm part of it.
There is only one way Peter Obi sits in Aso Rock as president of Nigeria in 2027. Only one way. And that is free and fair elections. Without free and fair elections in 2027, Peter Obi will be rigged out again. And no amount of screaming and ranting and shouting will change anything. So to prevent an empty waste of ranting and screaming, we must do one thing now to guarantee that the elections of 2027 is free and fair. Now, what do we do? How do we make sure the elections of 2027 is free and fair? How? What comes to your mind? Electoral reforms? Okay. Are you sure that Tinubu and his boys will give us the electoral reforms that we need? Okay, I hear you. We will push and will pressure them to give us electoral reforms. Let's say, by some miracle and pressure, we get Tinubu to convince his boys, Akpabio and the rest, to amend the Electoral Act and give us electoral reforms, mandatory electronic results, transmission, collation, and presentation. Let's say we have it. Can you beat your chest and say, for sure, that INEC will not come up with some glitch? Well, I don't trust INEC. So how do we get free and fair elections? How do we make sure that guaranteed 2027 election will be free and fair? There's something we, the people, can do. And it's called the People's Election Monitor. Vote Vision. With Vote Vision, it's game over for Tinubu. With Vote Vision, Peter Obi is the next president of Nigeria. Guaranteed. Why? How? Vote Vision comprises two components. One is the technology, two is the people. We have the technology, the web application, Vote Vision, but we need the people, you. Will you volunteer? Will you? The earlier we do it, the better. In fact, starting now, since we already have the software, the technology, why not start testing it with the people? And we call these people polling unit marshal. We have about 189,000 polling units. Let's round that up to 200,000. If we get 3 volunteers per polling unit, we have 600,000 polling unit marshals. With these 600,000 polling unit marshals, it won't matter whether Tinubu is 5 in 1, whether Tinubu is the presidential candidate of the APC, INEC chairman, head of security agencies, head of thugs, or the head of the judiciary. It won't matter that even if Tinubu is 5 in 1, with these 600,000 polling unit agents, polling unit marshal, we call them, and the software technology, Vote Vision, it is game over. It is bye-bye to election rigging in Nigeria forever. So the question is, will you volunteer? The link is in the description. Join us. Let us start testing now. We can't wait till next year. We can't wait till 2027. By that time, it will already be too late. We have to test and retest and perfect the whole system before 2027. So if you're interested, you are obedient, you are a patriotic Nigerian, the link is in the description below. Volunteer now. Let's start testing this software that we have. Let's start transmitting election results from the polling unit straight to our own server to transmit in parallel to whatever INEC does. Even if we succeed to get the electoral amendment and get the electoral reform, we still need this. Because there is no way to guarantee that INEC will not come up with a glitch. There's no way to guarantee. Another beautiful reason why we need to start testing this application now is so we can test its ability to gather evidence, such that immediately the election ends in February, election day 2027, we have all the evidence to defend our votes. Because trust me, with Vote Vision and polling unit marshal, we will win. It will be Tinubu or others going to court. And of course, we will have the evidence to defend it. With the kind of evidence that we gather with Vote Vision, there will be no place for the judiciary to hide. That is why this solution is critical. Push for electoral reforms, do whatever you have to do, but don't miss the opportunity to test out this solution to guarantee free and fair elections in 2027. Leave Tinubu and his boys to continue feeling themselves. I like the way the Object TV media guy puts it. Said they are impressing themselves. They gathered themselves in a room and they are playing drone footage and they impressed themselves. The same thing they did on Democracy Day. They gathered themselves in the National Assembly and in a joint session, they were feeling themselves, impressing themselves. Leave them. Leave the governors to decamp and join Tinubu's APC with the thought that, oh, perhaps Tinubu will help them rig so they can have the easy way out. Leave them to keep feeling themselves. With vote vision, it is bye-bye to rigging forever. With vote vision, it is a new Nigeria that we know is very, very possible. So let's start testing. We have the software. What are you waiting for? In addition to vote vision, there are 2 other critical things that we need to do. In fact, 3. We need Law Patrol. We need not Project Ego now. We need Law Patrol. We need Well Fund. The thing almost ran out of my head. We need Well Fund, and then we need Abundance Party. We need Abundance Party. Details coming shortly. Check the link in the description. Click it, volunteer away. Let us test this application. Let us start fine-tuning our alternative to guarantee free and fair elections in Nigeria. Let me tell you about Abundance Party.